Hey students, this is Miss Wendt, and I want to help you a little bit with a worksheet you have called Food Chains, Food Webs, and Energy Pyramids. Okay, so hopefully you've watched kind of some intro videos or looked at some notes already about what these things are. And let's get started. So it's number 1, use the following food chain to answer questions A through C below. So we start with some grass, and it goes to a rabbit and goes to a fox. So what that means is the grass has energy stored in it. The chemical bonds that build the grass is storing up energy. And when the rabbit eats the grass, the energy then goes from the grass to the rabbit. So the arrow points to the rabbit because the rabbit is getting the energy. And then all the energy inside the rabbit is then going to go to the fox when the fox eats the rabbit. Okay, so we got some vocab words that go with this. Grass is a plant, and all plants we can call producers. Okay, so producer. Okay, and that means that they produce their own energy from sunshine. They do photosynthesis. Okay, another word we can use for this is we could use the word autotroph. So auto, like a car, A-U-T-O, and then troph, T-R-O-P-H, or autotrophic would be okay too. And these two words are synonyms. An autotroph is somebody that automatically feeds itself. Troph means feeding. And a producer produces its own food. So these two words mean the same thing, so either one is a great answer. All right. Letter B, the animal that's an herbivore. So herbs are going to be things like chives, cilantro, basil. These are plants. So an herbivore is an animal that eats plants. And another word for that is a primary consumer. Primary means first. And consumer means that's somebody that has to eat food. So this would be our bunny rabbit. Our bunny rabbit is eating a plant, so it's an herbivore. And it's the first animal in our line. So primary means first. So that is going to be our rabbit. All right. Now, what would happen to the population of rabbits if the population of foxes increased? So if we had more foxes, so let's say in the forest there's maybe 1,000 pieces of grass, maybe 10,000 pieces of grass, and maybe there's 100 bunny rabbits, and normally there's 10 foxes, but a whole bunch more foxes moved in, and now there's 50 of them. What's going to happen to the rabbits with these more foxes? Well, the foxes are hungry, they're going to eat the rabbits. So the population of rabbits, the number of rabbits, is going to go down. Okay, and we have the word why, so we have to say why. The rabbits will go down because, come on, pen. Sorry guys, my pen is being grumpy here. B-E-C-A-U-S-E. Because the fox will eat them. Okay, so if one thing in the chain goes up or down, it's going to affect everything else that's connected to it. All right, so that's really important to remember about these food chains and food webs. If one thing gets messed up, everything else does too. All right, now the next thing we got to do is we have to construct or build a food chain. So we have some info here, and we have to label some parts, some vocab words. Now, I could be really artistic and draw these things. I'm not an artistic person. So I'm going to say, let's see, we have an owl eats a snake, the snake eats a squirrel, the squirrel eats a nut. So my plant, I always start with my plant is going to be my nut. Come on, pen. There we go. Sorry for the pen trouble here, guys. I don't quite know why it's doing that, but whatever. So I start my plant, and the energy from that nut, let's see, goes to the squirrel because the squirrel eats it. And like I said, you could draw these if you want to. I'm just going to write the words because my drawing skills are pretty bad with this computer. Let's see, the snake eats the squirrel. And then the energy from the snake is going to go to the owl in the end. And then I need to label some stuff. So it says label the producer. So my producer is going to be the thing that produces its own energy. So that's my nut here. Producer. So I did that guy. Primary consumer. So primary means first, and consumer means it's something that eats stuff. So the first thing in my line that eats anything is the squirrel. So my squirrel is my primary consumer. The second thing that eats is the snake. So my second consumer. And tertiary means third. So my owl is my tertiary, or my third consumer. Okay, so I got my food chain. I have arrows showing where the energy is going, and I labeled my parts. Now, an energy pyramid is similar to a food chain, except it's going to be pyramid shaped. All right, and the pyramid shape reminds us that we have more things at the bottom than at the top. So we always put the plants at the bottom, and then all the energy from these plants support the squirrels above them. Those squirrels are going to support the snakes, and at the very top, everything is supporting the owl. And with the energy pyramid, this shape helps us remember that there's always, in any ecosystem or any food chain, we need the most of those primary producers, the most plants. So if you think about how many plants a cow eats, there's going to be thousands and thousands of plants for one cow. There's going to be hundreds of nuts for one squirrel to support them, right? Okay, so you always have the most animals in an ecosystem at the bottom. And if you think about a forest, there's not that many owls in a forest. You know, there might be only 10, but there's thousands of plants in there supporting that one owl at the top. All right, so that's what an energy pyramid looks like there. All right, now I'm going to leave this one for you. We have another food chain here, but this is actually a web, which means instead of one path, there's going to be many paths. All right, so like the grass right here at the bottom is eaten by the rabbit, eaten by the mouse, and eaten by the grasshopper. So there's not just one path. And so food webs are more realistic, more to real life. All right, but it's still the same vocab words. The word producer means a plant. This is going to be our grass. What are the primary consumers? Notice there's an S there. Those are the first things that eat, the things that eat the grass. So that would be the mouse, the rabbit, and the grasshopper are going to be my primary consumers. Okay, so you're going to analyze this picture just like the food chain. Just realize you're going to have more than one answer for some things. Okay, secondary consumers and tertiary consumers, right? That's the second thing in the line and the third thing in the line. So you'll have to follow some paths to figure out where everything falls into place. It is possible that you might have an animal or two that could be listed as both, and that's okay. That's totally okay. Okay. So once you get done with that, you're going to make an energy pyramid of that. But you can't make a pyramid of the whole web. So notice that you're going to make one food chain. So just follow one path, like maybe grass to mouse to kookaburra to hawk here. You'd write that one path down and then put it in a pyramid, making sure that you have the right thing supporting on the bottom. All right, so I'm going to leave those blanks for you guys to work on through. And the last page is some vocab words. So after you've gone through this, a lot of these words you see in the worksheet, but not all of them. So you may have to find a textbook or go to Google. But I'll do just a one or two here to show you how this should look. So a producer, we said, is like a plant. Something that makes its own food. Okay, and then for example or picture, you could either write like the word tree, or you could actually draw a picture of a tree. And my pen's not behaving, so I'm not going to be able to do that at the moment. It's probably running out of batteries. Okay, so for each word, write a short definition, and then either give an example, like you can write a word, or draw a little picture to help you remember. Okay, so hopefully this will help you get started and be successful with this worksheet. As always, if you guys have any questions, please message me and let me know. Have a great day.